Hello everyone, welcome back to my first playthrough of Strange Antiquities for the Visual Novel Backlog. We are on day 13, and as I mentioned last time, I did go through and label everything with their, what is it called? Their thaumaturgic symbols? Yeah, they're thaumic symbols. They're not the most organized still. I can find groupings for them, but I did want to put these ones down here, and here's why. This one, which is called the Selenic Totem, this is the symbol for Selenic thaumic energy, but it's vertical instead of horizontal, which is odd. And same thing for Valant. It does the same thing. It is going vertical rather than horizontal. This one is just all sparkly. So I don't know what that means. This one is same thing. Same issue as the other two over here. So all of these seem to be Selenic, but they're facing the wrong way. And this one doesn't have anything. It is just a compass. So, that's where everything is now, so we can begin our day slightly more organized than we were before. I think before the next session, what I will do is try to group similar energies into likewise cabinets, and then also try to use the color system more effectively. I think like one color for things that are wards, one things that help with curses, something along those lines, just so it will help me comb through things a little bit easier. I thought about color coding them based on thaumic energies, but I just think it looks neat to have the symbols there. I can't say too much, but it has fallen to me to carry a secret that people would kill for, that people have killed for. It's a lot of weight to carry around in my head, and it's getting harder to bear around certain family members. It occurred to me that it would be safer in an ecumenical. Alright, let's find out what that is. So I believe it is this book. An ecumenical is a receptacle commonly featuring a memento mori that acts as an aid to recollection. A memory cannot reside in both the mind and the ecumenical at the same time, and it cannot be stored indefinitely. When a memory has been left for long periods, it can begin to emit unpleasant vapors. An empty ecumenical, on the other hand, has an ominous presence, pulling at the threads of one's mind. Alright, so I think we're looking for some good old Mentic energy. This is something we have not guessed before. It has a time symbol. Time can refer to death. Let me check our symbol booklet. See if we have an hourglass anywhere in here. We don't seem to. This one has been used, that one has been used. Okay, let's take a look. Unpleasant sensation at the back of my skull. Okay, and let me take a peek at that book one more time. Unpleasant vapors. I'm gonna guess this one. Yes, okay. Okay, hourglass motif for memento mori produces an unpleasant sensation. Where did that go? Oh, it's down here. This is an ecumenical. I wish you could include more icons. Like icons on icons on icons on these labels. It's getting dire out there. They found the body of that priest last night. Oh no. She was torn to shreds by her own congregation and left to rot outside the town hall. Such horrific violence. It has no place in our town. It's kind of notorious for that, though, isn't it? I just realized I didn't look at the map yet, so this letter is a good reminder that I still need to do that. So in answer to your question, yes, it is possible to capture a wandering shroud. To the north of town, if you follow the little stream up through the woods, you'll come out on a hilltop that was clearly of some ancient significance. It's not uncommon to see wandering shrouds there. Be patient, be still, and they will come. All right, perfect timing, Barton. Let's go ahead and pull out our map. We have, let's see, I am marked by Jupiter. I think that's the new one that we got. And let's also pull up our symbol for Jupiter, which I should know off the top of my head, but I don't. Okay, so Jupiter is the one that looks like a funky 4. So let's see if anything has that symbol. So far, I don't see one that looks like Jupiter. Another Jupiter thing, or no, would be like lightning, but I don't think anything has that either. Let me quickly take, oh, okay, here we go. The mark of Jupiter on my map leads me to a square room on the ground floor. Other than an intriguing torn note, there doesn't seem to be anything of interest until I notice that the bookshelf is mounted on a runner and can slide on one side. I push it and it glides easily, revealing a hidden recess in the wall behind it. Alright, so we got a new item and a piece of torn paper. So let's right away, this is Noctic. I have a photo on my phone with the symbols now so that I can do them quicker. It is this one. Okay, so let's put this away. The castle vaults are blocked by a diurnic seal. It can be opened by any object made from silver or gold that produces a diurnic field. Okay, so diurnic is the triangle with the big circle at the top. And we're looking, so for example, this is diurnic. But what are you? This is bronze. It does have gold, so maybe. I think this is iron. Oh no, limestone. This one is Dradic. It's a good thing I adjusted these. This one's bronze. This one is Mentic. This is gold. Let's just go ahead and take this with us. Okay, so I'm gonna put you down here. Castle vaults are blocked by a diurnic seal. So let's go exploring. The vaults are blocked by a large iron door. It has no handle or keyhole, and it does not give in the slightest way when I pushed against it. I realize that it has been thomically sealed, but that's not much help. It's not clear what I need to open it. Let's give this a try. The door slides open without a sound, as though it has been kept well oiled over the years. Behind it, I find a large natural cavern that extends into the rock beneath the castle. Somewhat disappointingly, the walls are lined with racks of whiskey bottles instead of the rows of artifacts that I was picturing. When I show Edmund, he is delighted, and he spends some time examining the dusty shelves. It's not long before he makes a find that I'm surprised I missed. I return to the shop with a spring in my step and a curious item that demands further study. Ooh, and a letter. Love a letter. Okay, let's go ahead and archive these 2 notes. The Bishop's Square is a simple tool of my great-grandfather's devising. Loosely based on a briar's disc, by all accounts he was an impressive man, but it would seem his mind began to fail him at the end. Perhaps he spent too long studying his Zia. He imagined invisible enemies coming to steal away his most prized possessions, so he began hiding them about the castle, noting their locations in a code that only he understood. Excuse me. Come with me, please. Okay, so this doesn't have any thaumic energy, so it's another one of these things, and I'm starting to run out of room. So let's go ahead and clear this shelf out for us. And the things that have no energy, I'm going to store over there. So, oh, we don't, this is just a tool. Simple tool of my great-grandfather, loosely based on a briar's disc. Let's check if either Briar or Zia are listed in here. I don't see the first one. What about a Zia? No. Okay, Zia is here though. Worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart, these innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia that can be difficult to remove. They are made of any single material except wood and clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. Okay. So I don't know what to do with this yet. I'm actually going to store it over here, I think. And we're going to go to our regular map and see if we can't follow through with Barton's clue. In the north of town, you follow the little stream. Is Wyatt Beck a stream? I see, like, all water is marked with, I mean, there's like this little pond, but that doesn't seem like a stream. If you follow the little stream up through the woods, you'll come out on a hilltop that was clearly of some ancient significance. Up through the woods. So maybe it's either the barrows or this part of the woods, or it could also be here. Let's try here. Nope, should not have come here. Okay. Let's try here. Nope. One more. Let's try the barrows. After a pleasant walk along the beck, I reach a series of grassy mounds. The barrows, whoever is buried in them, must have been important in their time. If I'm to collect what I came for, I need to be prepared. Okay, so that is the spirit vault. Great. All right, let's get in position to read the rest of this. I sit and wait quietly and patiently, not certain exactly what I'm looking for. For some time, nothing happens. And then, long after my mind has drifted towards a warm fire and a hearty supper, I notice a movement in the corner of my eye. A strange thin mist has formed near one of the barrows. It seems to produce a sort of dark light, a contradiction that my eyes have trouble perceiving clearly. The ethereal creature, for surely this is a creature of some kind, ambles towards the vault that I have left out for this purpose, and I daren't breathe as it slowly nestles itself within the receptacle. Okay, now that we've done that, we can, I'll have to deal with that later. Oh, interesting that this is over here. Was it this one? An ancestor of mine hid an item of thaumic significance in his burial chamber. I was tempted to search for it myself, but I learned that it was in the catacombs in a place known as the Hall of Shields. Okay, so let's go back to the Hall of Shields and grab that spirit vault. I breathe deeply from the spirit vault and it clears my mind. I don't care to linger too long down here, but I forge on until I reach the unmistakable Hall of Shields. A stone sarcophagus sits on a raised portion of rock in the center of the cavern. I hold a torch close to better see the inscription on the inside of the tomb. This side of the tomb. It reads, "The sun's light will reveal my gift." Mystified, I cast my eye to the walls of the cavern and search the shields for some other clue, but nothing stands out. I wonder if it's that there was something that when it was like warmed by light, it did something else. I don't know. Let's see if we can just find anything marked with sun. Okay, we have the pit and the sun bond. Directed to emit powerful vibrations. So that's one. I should have just clicked on the text, but already over here. One more. Sun bond. A sun bond is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly and made of non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. Okay, a non-precious metal. I'm pretty sure I've found this already. Yeah, here's the sun bond. I don't know if that's what they're looking for. Oh! The sun bond banishes the darkness in an instant, half blinding my gloom-adjusted eyes and bringing summer's warmth to the cold cavern. Blinking and squinting, I notice that one of the shields in particular is glowing in the bright light. I reach up and pull the shield down to reveal a small cavity hewn into the rock behind it. Inside is a blood-red urn. Ooh, that looks so cool. Alright, let's check its energy. So this is Dradic. Glad all that time labeling things paid off. This one is also finished. And I believe there's one more thing still. This one. Below a moon that does not shine, there is no mark upon my shrine. In the dark but not alone, my neighbors bears a cross of stone. A moon that doesn't shine. I know I did these earlier. With no mark upon the shine. So like, this doesn't count, this doesn't count. This one doesn't count. Could be this one. There's no mark. And the neighbor does bear a cross of stone. Okay, it's not that one. I feel like we did this already. This one... Below a moon that does not shine, there is no mark upon my shrine. In the dark but not alone, my neighbor bears a cross of stone. Oh, maybe it's this one. Because that's the moon, it's below, nothing marked here. Okay. I find the blank tombstone without too much trouble, but there's nothing else here. Feeling foolish, I begin to make my way back to the surface when suddenly I see it, tucked away in a natural crack in the rock wall. A stone totem. This is what I came for. Okay, and this is Wexic, or the body. Oops. Let's grab you and just stick you up here. Okay, and then what is this? That's about the bishop square. And this is just explaining the thumb itself. All right, so we cleared all of our explorations. Great. I got to thinking after I left earlier. Transferring this secret to an ecumenical only adds an extra step. Yes, it's safer than walking around with it in my head, but I would know where to find it. What I really need is a truth conduit, so that I can deceive them into thinking I know nothing at all. Sounds like you're messing with something big here. Alright, truth conduit. These items are used by tricksters and swindlers to distort and deceive. They do not warrant the designation of dark article that some want to apply to them, but they can be and have been used maliciously. The gentle sound they produce anchors the mind, as the spell is woven combining symbology with a deeper, more primitive power. And let me just confirm this symbol is Mentic. It is not. This is actually... This is actually Selenic. But I was just thinking because it does make an interesting sound. And I think that's protect as the symbol on it. Okay, that's not protect. That's deceive. Okay, so that's deception. Okay, so I don't think anything about it. Makes a soft tinkling sound whenever it moves. Feels a little warmer than I would expect it to. Okay. Gentle sound anchors the mind as the spell is woven, combining symbology with a deeper, more primitive power. Okay, I think this makes sense. Yes. Now we can label this. I also want to give this a different color because that's not good. That's not a good one. Gray area at best. I have never felt more tired or more devoid of life. An apathy has settled in my bones that I do not seem able to shift. But while I still have breath in my lungs, I will not succumb without a fight. By the grace of Grey, I will find a way forward. Okay. I was like, did I miss something? Like, what am I looking for? All right, let's just search for Grace of Grey. That is not in here. Is Grace of Grey one of an item that we have? Maybe? We have Grey's Grace. Worn is appended to the spell Melancholy. They share the design of the Shadow Catcher. Was this the No, that's the Spirit Bolt. Grace. And it's marked off, so I should have it. So let's just look for it. I can also look for the Shadow Catcher. Okay, so it has the same symbol as... That's the Shadow Hold. This is Grace. Okay. The answer is don't overthink it and don't panic. Right, Jupiter? I've had a tip-off about something exciting. Have you come across the so-called nameless gods? Did you also know that the tall stones that you sometimes find in high places were once doorways of a kind? And here's the exciting part. An inscription has appeared on the stone that sits atop Weatherlam. This is where you come in. I'm confident that a pit will open the doorway. The other option is Babelia, to read the inscription. But they say if you read the language of the nameless gods, you become cursed, which I can't say I like the sound of. I'm leaning towards the more direct approach, but then again, that could be dangerous too. Okay, so we're going to look for both options. Barton did help me, so I would rather not give him something that would curse him. That seems rude. The three different elements that make up a pit allegedly represent the earth, the sun, and death, or darkness. The Dradic, Diurnic, and Noctic. These energies balance in such a way that the objects do not produce a recognizable thaumic field. They can be directed to emit powerful vibrations capable of cracking solid rock. Okay, I am so glad I paid attention to things that were not emitting something normal, because this thing is not emitting something normal. These are selenic, but they're also just weird. Nothing to remark. Hard but smooth, textured, clay and bone and gold. Okay. I mean, that could be a pit. Earth, sun, and death. I mean, a skull, like bone is death, gold is the sun, and was this clay? Yeah, I think it's that. I think this is the pit. I'm not even going to look at the other thing. Yes. I hope this works. Here's a token of my appreciation. Something for you to ponder over. Ooh. What a smooth day. Icon, and this one is Diurnic. Stick you over there and end the day. That was probably one of the smoothest days that I've had. I'm glad that I went through and labeled everything because that made a huge difference. With dreams of earning his fortune long banished from his mind, the man brought the casket to a trusted friend, the curator of a museum in Undermere. Together, they looked for answers. I am buried with the Knight of Thorns. Okay, back to the catacombs we go. And it's raining. Lovely. Okay. A Knight of Thorns. So we have a few seeming knights. This one looks like he's got pokey thorns. That one's just a flower. That's the Knight of Shields. Okay, so I think it's this guy. Yeah. The tomb of the Knight of Thorns resides among an ossuary filled with the unknown dead from the Battle of Sotherfell. It is an unpleasant place that I do not plan to linger in. Happily, I'm able to find the item I came for without any difficulty, and I quickly leave and don't look back until I am out in the bright of the day once more. Okay, let's pop this open. And this is Selenic. I've noticed that some people claim not to fear death. They say that dying scares them, but not death itself. Not me. Not the great Thomas Pope. Give me pain, give me fear. If I can feel, then I know I'm alive. Going back to the nothingness, that's what I fear. I'm going to do my best to live forever, starting today with a loam. Okay, does that do whatever it is that you think it does? Sometimes called a hand of Jupiter or a fire palm, a loam is an item with enticing power. They can reverse the signs of aging, but anyone who has played that game knows that it can only last so long before time catches up, and when it does, it often hits harder. Okay, the hand of Jupiter or a fire palm, and we've had this for a while. I kind of wonder if it's that. Nothing to remark. It's polished, rough. Nothing super of note. Okay, it's not correct. All right, let's keep looking. I mean, that's a hand, but it's not necessarily a literal hand. I wonder what this symbol means. Let's take a look at our symbol book. We're looking for fire. Fire's just a triangle. That's not there. And we know this is Jupiter. I guess something made of tin could potentially be it. Okay, let's try looking for tin. Is this made out of tin? It's made out of stone. Stone and wood. How about this? This is tin. Okay, I think this is it. And it also has a triangle, which is fire. Great. I went with Mr. Potter up Weatherlam yesterday. We found the tall stone easy enough and set about our work. Mr. Potter, he told me to stand well back when we were ready just in case. I thought it had worked at first. The stone opened just like a door, just like Mr. Potter said it would, and he went inside, but then it slammed shut, and there was a noise like thunder. I ran up there, was no sign of Mr. Potter, and the tall stone was a stone again, and there weren't even a crack to show where the door might open. Or might be. The writing on it was gone too. I don't know what that means. Now, Mr. Potter was a fair man, and he paid me fair for the work, but what I really wanted was a thing that he wouldn't give me. A pathfinder's tool. And he had it in him, of course. Not that I'd robbed him if he'd left it behind, but then again, he wouldn't need it if he was dead, would he? Charming. Anyway, I don't know its name, but I reckon you'll know it. It had unnatural properties, like it was floating on air. Said he could use it to find his way, even in the fog. Okay, well, the Valiant is floating. So let me check if it is the Valiant before I start searching through everything else. I mean, it has like all this compass stuff. Oh yeah, helps adventurers find their way. Not that you deserve this. I wonder if things would have turned out differently for Barton if we had given him the other item. So that might be something for a second playthrough. There has been an unexpected death in the family. It has hit all of us quite hard, but particularly my husband. I would like to gift him a heart chamber. There's a vast skull in the catacombs, said to be that of the beast Blencathra. Holgar's followers believe that when he slew it, he trapped his soul, along with its power, in an item known as the Wraith Chamber. Heart chambers are based on this mythical object, but they have morphed over time into a way to keep those dear to us close to heart after death. Okay, so Holgar wields twin axes. There's this symbol on one of the axes. He's got horns, and he's wearing several items that we might own. There's a vast skull in the catacombs. Okay, that just takes us here. And Holgar, there's two things here. The Holgen Grim. Okay, let me find the Holgen Grim. Okay, this is the Holgen Grim. So that's what it looks like. These are some of the new things that we got. This was given to us by Barton. Let me take a quick peek in the catacombs. Do any of these knights, or are there... Oh, wait, I wonder if it's this. No, it's horns, not tusks. And you don't have a weapon. You don't have a weapon either. You know, I thought those were thorns, but they both have those things when you hover over them. So I wonder how you were supposed to figure out that this was the correct one. Okay. Oh, it's saying that it's based on a Wraith Chamber. But I don't see that. Hmm. I feel as though I might need a clue. Everything has been smooth sailing until now, and I'm feeling a little perplexed by some of the clues. Oh, I wonder if it's this. This does seem to have, like, this. I'll try this before getting a clue. How about that? Okay. I'm glad I paused for a second. Bears a sigil that resembles the Holgen Grim mask. Item appears in the sketch of Holgar. Did it? Oh yeah, it does. It's one of the items on his necklace. Okay, cool. Heart's chamber. Just remember not to panic. Did you ever work out what that Bishop Square thingy was? I suddenly remembered this note that I found some time ago, and it occurred to me that it might be related. I almost threw it away, but it intrigued me, so I held on to it. I haven't a clue what it means. Thank you. It is an extremely small note. Blessings in spring, rising in autumn. Okay. Spring. This is spring, winter, autumn, summer. So at least we have that. Is there anything in here? No, these are all planetary symbols, I think. Well, no, not all of them, but they're not these. They do fit around them, though, don't they? Blessings in spring. And risings in autumn. I don't know that this is enough information for me to figure that out, so I'm going to just set it aside for now. Something isn't right at the museum. I'm worried it's all my fault. I'd hoped my brother would be back by now. I've had an idea, though. I'm no thaumaturge, but I think I can weaken it using a witherance. Oh dear me. This had better work. A witherance is the inverse of a fortance and is sometimes put to more malicious use. These can be crafted from stone, like the fortance, but wood is more commonly used. What is a fortance? A fortance can enhance physical strength or restore strength that has been sapped whether by exertion or by hex. They are made of stone or iron and usually take the form of a small totem. Okay, so it's probably then a small totem that is likely to be made out of wood, though not necessarily. And it probably looks like something else that we have. I think these are our only wooden things. What does that symbol mean again? Oh, wait, that's not our symbol book. This is our symbol book. Is it weakness? Yes, it is weakness. So I think it is this one. I think that makes sense. This is stone. This could potentially be Fortnance. Is that actually, let me check that. Is that the symbol for strength? Strength is an X with, yep, okay. So I'm actually going to mark, and I have not proved that, so I'm going to put it in red. Yay. And this is not something used for good reasons, so I'm gonna mark it green for now. My mind is severed. Need mether. Uh-oh. Okay. We have a few options. This type of method is used to purge unwanted memories. As with any procedure that can alter the mind, it should be used sparingly and considerately. Methods are typically used in communal ceremonies designed to be easily passed from person to person. A mether is a thaumaturge's link to the inner mind. A hot tea made from the Dranthium plant is drunk from them, taking a different property, can be used to enter a meditative state and bypass the rush and clutter of consciousness. And then the solemn mether is considered the most powerful, permits the drinker to forge pathways in the mind, to recall that which has been forgotten or to repair that which has been broken. It will produce a noticeably stronger thaumic field than the two other types. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that is what we are looking for. That said, I don't know what to do from there, but I think one of these we'd identified. That was the restful mether. So let's try to find that really quick. Looking for anything that says mether. Okay, this is the restful mether. I wonder if all three of these cups are the methers, because none of these, only one of these is labeled. So let me just really quickly put these down here, just to make it easier to grab them. And it says one of these is stronger than the other two. So this is our restful mether. This is what it looks like. That Dradic energy. Okay, that's definitely one that stands out. So this one, there's abrasive and solemn. So this one, was this the strong one? No, this is abrasive. I'm gonna mark that red because I haven't technically confirmed that. And this is the solemn method. Yay! Alright, I want these to be next to each other, because that makes sense. Where'd the other one disappear to? Here you are. I've discovered something via the thalmic needle. The woman who tried to swim across the lake was compelled to do so by some invisible force. She was looking for something, and whatever it is, it's right here in Undermere. That's not all. I decided to experiment with the Ambra. When I was under its spell, I heard whispers. Something was calling to me, and it left me feeling terribly afraid. This must be what's keeping my patients in their trance-like state. I've never used a Godian siren before, but it occurred to me that I might be able to use it to drown out the whispers. Although these are similar in form to thalmic needles, Godian sirens serve a very different purpose. They create a strong compulsion, like a siren's call, that can be used to divert attention. A display of Godian objects at the Museum of History in Undermere. Okay. So which one was our needle? This is the thalmic needle. This looked similar to it, and it looked like one of the objects in that illustration. That one. Yay! Ah, I love when things go smoothly. Alright, that's day 2. The curator learned that the Nullian casket is a dark article, a class reserved for the most cursed and the most dangerous of objects. He locked it away deep within the museum's archives, along with other such artifacts that are best kept from public eyes. I am under the barn, where the axe meets the tree. Okay. Under the barn. I'm just checking. I doubt there's something like called a barn. Oh wait, this is interesting. Mars is in winter, rising in summer. That is Mars. No, this is Mars. Blessings in spring, rising in autumn. I mean, that kind of circles both of these. But there's nothing actually in spring. I'm gonna check the courtyard anyway. Neat hedgerows and worn pillars frame the space. Gravel crunches underfoot, the only sound in the otherwise quiet courtyard. There's no reason to linger. Okay, well that didn't hurt me, but it didn't help me either. Mars in winter, rising in summer. And that doesn't do anything either. I'm just gonna try it. I must have taken a wrong turn. This isn't where I meant to come. Okay, I don't want to waste any more of my health. So let's try to figure out our other clue. Under the barn where the axe meets the tree. Is there a barn? It doesn't seem as though there is. There is a woodcutter's lane. Where the axe meets the tree, which is Pine Road. I don't know. Maybe it's here. Oh, that was clever. To the side of the house sits a dilapidated barn. The stench of manure is overpowering. There's no sign of an owner, so I search carefully, not sure exactly what I'm looking for. Suddenly I spy a flash of blue. A bottle. This is it. That looks so cool. Alright, let's test this for its energy. It's got that spooky evil eye motif. Okay, so this is this one, Dradic, or Diurnic. Hello, Simone. Good morning. Yes, and to you too, Jupiter. I'm getting more concerned about my mother. Hearing about that poor lady who drowned frightened me. But she'll turn up. She always does. I've had another breakthrough. This time I'm certain it's a clue that leads to another hidden part to strange antiquities. Okay. From the individual, a stone for dark purposes. From the celestial, a stone of the earth. From the diurnal, a stone of death. What is individual? Celestial, I'm guessing, is stone of the earth. I mean, diurnal is going to be diurnic, right? Oh, wait, okay. Now I see them. So it's either going to... So for individual, it's either mentic or wixic. The mind or the body. Individual, celestial is either selenic or dradic. And a diurnal is either diurnic or noctic. And then I think we also want... this isn't what I want. I want the gemstone bug. Okay. And we're looking for let's go in order. For the individual, we're looking for either mentic or wixic, and it needs to have a dark purpose. A dark stone for dark purposes. Okay, so we're looking for a bloodstone. And I mean, this looks like a bloodstone. Is there... Hey. Is there anything else that looks like that? I don't think so, but I will peek. Okay. For the celestial, we want a stone of earth. Water, peace, safety. Okay, and celestial can be dradic. So it can be just something that has jade. This has jade, but it has other things in it. Let's go ahead and go with the Aya Cernunnos. And we want a stone of death. So we're looking for Vivinite, which is definitely diurnal. It's noctic. Grows on Tron coffins and waterlogged corpses. Honestly, I don't know that I have this. Oh, could that be it? You know, it's worth trying. This is noctic, so actually I think that could be it. Yay! Oh no. How do I do this again? Okay. Half and half. And we want to push this one, and this one. Okay. At least this was easier for me having gone through the first one. Wonderful. Alright, thank you. We can put this one away, and this is Selenic. Great. I will say I'm enjoying the puzzle solving more in the second half than the first half. I think that there were just a couple things that were a little bit harder for me in the first half. Thank you for the mether. I have seen into the yawning deep. I have been seen beauty beyond comprehending mind. The price is steep, but I pay it gladly. My shadow anchor is broken. Must replace. Shadow anchor. Here we go. A shadow anchor is sometimes used in the practice of shadow casting, the art of projecting one's presence outside of the body. Without an anchor, minds have been known to become lost. Shadow anchor designs can vary greatly. Some prefer pendants, whereas others prefer to clutch a totem in their hand. Some make use of symbology, where others use gemstones. They will always produce a field from the individual branch, however. Okay, so regardless of what we end up picking, it needs to either have Mentic or Wixic energy. And it's either going to be a totem or a pendant. And we already have a guess of what that is. That causes paralysis, so it's not that. This has Mentic energy. And it has that symbol. Let's see what that stands for. That's hypnosis. So let me just, like I did with paralysis. This is hypnosis. AKA not that. Okay, we also need something that has not been used. This hasn't been used, but I mean, I don't think that's it. This hasn't been used yet. Could you be a shadow anchor? Could you be a shadow anchor? Okay, let's check the symbol. This is diurnic, so it's not individual. This is selenic, so it can't be that one. This is Dratic. This is Mentic. Wait, no, it's not. That's Diurnic. This is Wixic. It's made of stone. It doesn't really have either a symbol or a gem. So that's my main hesitation with that. I think I have... Is that everything? Oh yeah, it is. Oh, this hasn't been labeled. Too bad it's not individual. I am looking for individual, right? Yes. Yeah, and that's not individual. That is, unfortunately, Noctic. I think I actually looked at that earlier, too. What are you? You are... Diurnic. And you are also Noctic. Oh, I didn't actually check that one earlier. Okay, I wonder if... Oh, hold on. No. Okay, I think I might take a clear this time. I have a feeling that either my gemstone or symbol book could be useful here. I mean, I knew that. Okay, what do we... Wait, hold on. Is it the mind? Is that what we're looking for? Without an anchor, minds are known to become lost. Some prefer pendants, whereas others prefer to clutch a totem in their hand. Well, we know it'll be either... It'll have individual energy, which could come from the gemstone. So we're looking for Mentic Wixic. This is Wixic. Topaz is a stone of strength. A fourth eye or stone of sight. An anchor between body and mind. Okay, so actually kyanite makes a lot of sense. This is blue. And it is that kind of shade of blue, but it's definitely diurnic in terms of energy. Okay, let's check. Symbols would be... Was it protection? I'm gonna try this. I don't think it's it. Okay, no, it's not. What about this? This has light blue. Okay, that was it. Kyanite gemstones point to the fact that this item anchors the mind and it produces a mentic field from the individual branch. Did I label this correctly? Yes, I did. I just wasn't looking closely. Wait, what was this thing called? Shadow anchor. I'm afraid this letter was sorted incorrectly and has ended up doing a round trip to Kendall and back. Better late than never. Okay, who's it gonna be? Barton! I spent a long time looking for an object that is believed to have been lost somewhere in the catacombs. The adventurer and thaumaturge Marwyn left a trail to her hidden stash, or so the story goes. I followed it as far as the ossuary of the damned, a chilling bone-filled alcove carved into a natural chamber in the upper levels, but it seems her markings have been worn away by time after that. I pass on the story to you in the hope that you can succeed where I have failed. I will do my best. Let's go to the catacombs. Okay. Left a trail to her hidden stash. I followed it as far as the ossuary of the damned. A chilling, bone-filled alcove. I mean, This seems like it would be it, right? Nope, nope. You're making assumptions. Don't jump to conclusions. Okay, so we started here. I mean, it could be down here instead. Because we see all these skulls. That's the Bishop Square, which I don't know what to do with that. Marwyn left a trail to her hidden stash. Followed it as far as the ossuary of the damned. A bone-filled alcove carved into a natural chamber in the upper levels. Seems her markings have been worn away by time after that. But it says the upper levels. So it's not going to be near the bottom. Maybe it's this. I'm able to follow Marwyn's trail for a while, but the carved markings are faded and worn by centuries of weathering. By the time I reach the ossuary, I can no longer make them out at all. Fortunately, I've always wanted an excuse to use a Carrick's candle. Oops. Okay. These items produce an invisible light that peels back the years, allowing a glimpse into the past. The effect is often murky and blurred, but it works passively on stationary objects. They are marked by a depiction of a candle upon their surface. No problem. Let's just find something that looks like a candle. Oops. Unless I don't have it, this is the thing that looks the closest. And that's fire, and I don't know what that other symbol is. Okay, great. Wax. Okay, that makes sense. Stalagmites retreat under the light of the candle as I hold it aloft and search for shifting rock walls for any sign of Marwyn's trail. Suddenly, I see it, an M etched into the rock, as clear as if it had been carved yesterday. I follow the trail as an excited hurry, tripping and stumbling as the candle distorts the height of the floor, until I come to its end at a small boulder. Rolling the rock to one side, I reach behind it and reclaim Marwyn's lost treasure. I believe this is body. And this was Carrick's candle, or was it Cossack's candle? I will check. Carrick's candle, okay. Oh God. The time has come to decide, thaumaturge. The casket wants to be opened. The casket will be opened. Nothing can stop it now, and yet there is still a part of this mind that will not be quieted. Help me to calm this clamoring rage inside my head. This is your chance to elevate yourself above the scurrying ants that absently crawl through their meaningless lives. Oh God. Pets. Okay, so she wants calm the rage inside my head. So we're either looking for a Zephyrim or something else. Let's check what both of these things are. These resonant objects give off a faint odor that will be familiar to any thaumaturge. It's the scent of the storm, of ozone, and power, the scent of magic. When these vapors are inhaled deeply, they can unlock deep wells of anger and channel them into a powerful maelstrom. This is the power of the west wind. Okay, so that's the first one. And then the other one was the abrasive method. Purge unwanted memories. As with any procedure that can alter the mind, it should be used sparingly and considerately. Typically used in communal ceremonies designed to be easily passed from person to person. I mean, they asked me to quell the anger. But I don't think it's her talking. I think it's this possession that's talking. So I think we want to feed the anger. So let's look for the symbol for wind. I could be totally wrong, and I could end up killing her. Which would be a big ol' oopsie. Okay. Wind is this leafy kind of pattern. Is there a gem that could represent the wind? No. It has the scent of a storm. And it's something you inhale. Like that of a brewing storm. Okay, this could be really bad, or I could help save Verona. It's either I save Verona, or I am playing into this creepy cult's hand. I hope I am saving Verona with this. And I'm gonna be left in the dark because they said nothing. Alright, so that's the end of the day. I'll have to find out next time whether that was a huge mistake or not. But the problem with storing powerful dark artifacts is that slowly, inevitably, the darkness seeps out. Yarn. Okay, so next time we are going to finish the last couple of days of this playthrough. And then I'm assuming there might be an epilogue or post game that'll be attached to that episode too, and I'll be able to give some, at least for now, some thoughts about how this went. And probably in the future I might play through some more. We'll see. There's quite a bit in my backlog, so whether I record all of those different playthroughs or not is, I guess, dependent on if there's interest for it. But for now, I'm intrigued. I'm ready to see what's going to happen as the fallout for the decisions that I've made so far. We have Barton, who is missing. We have Verona, who seems to be possessed by this black spirit thingy. We have the people in the mental health patients who are still suffering. We're still getting help from Simone to try to, piece together what's going on. And I think it's been a while since we heard from the owner of Strange Antiquities as well, according to his brother, who said he was hoping that he would be back by now, but he sadly is not. So lots on the line to keep an eye out for. I will see you again next time. Bye.